Hello and welcome to Owlkids Books. My name is Allison and I'm going to give you a quick 7-minute tour of what's new for spring. Let's get started with picture books. First up is The Tunnel by Sarah Howden, illustrated by Erica Rodriguez Medina. It's a powerful story about processing hard feelings. After something bad happens at home, a boy doesn't want to talk about it. So he digs a tunnel from his room deep down and out into the backyard. The distance and the quiet give him space to face his emotions before he's ready to come back home to his family's love and support. This is great for discussing feelings, emotions, and social emotional learning. Next, A Park Connects Us by Sarah Nelson, illustrated by Ellen Rooney. This is a celebration of urban parks and the many ways they connect us to community and nature. The book shows one day in a city park where a diverse group of visitors is engaged in play, picnics, nature, a peace march, and more. This love letter to public parks celebrates these inclusive, accessible, amazing spaces, as well as how they connect us to nature. The book also includes back matter about the history of urban parks in North America. Next, Busy Baby Animals is a board book that showcases baby animals from different species all around the world as they engage in everyday activities. Playful text and totally adorable photos by award-winning wildlife photographer Susie Esterhaas make this one not to miss for the littlest readers. Next, Dinosaur Dance-Off by Jordan Foss, illustrated by Sarah Toyerkoff, is about a dino named Darwin who loves to dance. He's looking to expand his dance troupe, but mom and dad and grandma are just too ancient to have groovy moves. Or are they? In a tour of dance moves from through the decades, from the cha-cha slide to the cabbage patch, this story celebrates intergenerational relationships and the fun of a good dance party. Next, While We Wait by Judy Ann Sadler, illustrated by Elodie Duhamel, is all about patience. A boy and his grandmother are waiting for something, but we don't know what. They pass the time singing, snacking, sitting, knitting, and waiting in a rhythmic refrain of text. They sit and knit and wait. Finally, we see what they have been waiting for when mom and dad come home from the hospital with a brand new baby and the boy and his grandma have knit the perfect gift. Next, Pink is for Everybody by Ella Russell, illustrated by Udiana Lugo. This book is a celebration of the color pink and also a celebration of self-expression and acceptance that goes beyond the binary expectations of gender. One rainy day, a group of kids is stuck indoors with nothing to do until they discover a treasure chest filled with costumes that are bright pink. They dress up as astronauts, painters, aliens, palace dwellers, and more. This has a great upbeat, inclusive message about choosing what you love and respecting the preferences of those around you. Next up is Whirl by Deborah Kerbel, illustrated by José Bizayan. This is a wordless picture book about the journey one stray maple key takes on the wind. Readers will follow its movements and see the different people whose daily lives it touches, whether it's on a walk, or in an art project, or when it gets dropped again into the forest by a pair of birds and eventually grows into a tree. This is a beautiful story about the cycle of life and the connection between humans and nature. Next up is My Delicious Garden by Anne-Marie Fortin, illustrated by Julienne Castanier. This is about a girl who tends to her garden lovingly through the seasons. From planning to planting to weeding and harvesting, she really enjoys getting into the project with a bit of help from her mums. The book celebrates the process and the joy of growing food from scratch, and ends with harvesting a bounty to share with friends and family. Next is Free by Baru. This is a picture book about problem solving and thinking outside the box. When the Great Bird Circus is headed to a show, Paloma and the ringmaster are missing the proper paperwork to get their birds across the border. Paloma's quick creative thinking has them open the cages, allowing for them to surpass the bureaucracy while the birds fly freely across. Next, I'll share 2 nonfiction titles. First, Dig, Dance, Dive by Etta Kaner, illustrated by June Stube, shows the many ways birds move beyond just flying. There are birds that walk on top of water, roadrunners that race around, or even birds that make a shady spot with their wings to trap fish. It's a fun, informative exploration of animal behavior. Next, Same Here by Susan Hughes, illustrated by Sophie Casson. This book highlights the common needs that kids around the world share, even though the ways they do these things can look very different. Whether it's who makes up your family, or how you go to school, or how you make and eat meals. The book is grounded in extensive research as it introduces kids from around the world and what their lives look like. It's great for fostering a global worldview and curiosity about other people's experiences. I'll finish up with 3 fiction titles. First, The Weird Sisters by Mark David Smith, illustrated by Kari Rust, is the first book in a mystery series featuring 3 sleuthing sisters who are new in town. When they open a pet store and get involved with helping a little girl try to track down her lost pet goat, they also discover a mangled note that suggests they're not welcome in town, but who sent it and why. Full of fun misunderstandings, wordplay, and black and white illustrations, this is a lively story that really encourages looking past our first appearances. Next, Bee and Flea in the Compost Caper by Anna Humphrey, illustrated by Mike Deas, is the first book in another new junior fiction series. Here we have unlikely bug buddies, Bee and Flea, coming together to investigate trouble in the compost heap. And they come to discover that the stinky, messy chaos they see actually has an important purpose. This is a gross, hilarious, and also pretty fascinating look at all the invisible marvels of composting critters, led by 2 really sweet characters. Finally, we have For the Record by Monique Polak. This is a middle grade novel about 12-year-old Justine, whose parents are divorced and who's experiencing what's known as parental alienation. She gets involved in taking notes to cast doubt on her father's parenting after her mother decides he's a bad influence, until Justine starts to question her actions and summons the courage to find her own voice and tell the truth. That's all for today. If you have any questions, please get in touch and one of our staff would be happy to tell you more. Thank you for listening.